AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. In my opinion, JJ Redick got a little more swag than Nick Wright.
A lot more.
He got
a lot more.
A lot more swag. You heard the AllBall confirmation. And JJ, man, he's been one of the guys in the media, not as loud as a Kendrick Perkins, but true to his word, every single step of the way has drawn about Jalen Brunson's progress into superstardom. And not only superstardom, everybody else is whispering top 30 player. He says, whoa, he's top 10, 12 minimum, and he deserves some of this top 5 MVP consideration. You ain't got to hear from me. Horse's mouth.
Jalen Brunson, I think, probably doesn't make first team All-NBA this year. He's got a pretty strong case to be second team All-NBA. And if you look at a Basketball Reference, all their sort of individual advanced stats, like this is a top 10 to 12 player in the NBA this season. I think there's legitimate buzz around him maybe creeping in the top 5 of the MVP voting. He's been that good this year. He was phenomenal last year. He's been even better this year. And the thing that I love that both of you sort of got to was he has, along with Tibbs and that group, Sans Randall, they have figured out a counter for every coverage. And it's been phenomenal to watch. And I want to state clearly, like if you think Jalen Brunson is a top 30 player, you are vastly underestimating him. He's closer to that 10 to 15. And you could probably argue this season a little bit higher.
Wow. I got a lot to say about that. So big shout out JJ Redick, right? Whoever said top 30, I'm being honest. Y'all say we don't know the game. That to me, that gotta be they call it clickbait. That gotta be clickbait. I'm not even whoever said top 30, whatever platform, whatever person, whatever network. I'm not even indulging in that. I'm not even indulging that. Let me get to what JJ Redick said, what we've been saying since the beginning of the year. We've been the first on this bandwagon. I don't care what nobody say. We got the notes to prove it. January, I was saying he's an MVP candidate. I don't remember nobody saying that before January. February, March, April, that's 3 months. So where I disagree with JJ Redick is he's higher than 10, 15. He's top 5 player in the NBA right now. And let me explain why. See, we got to stop giving the same guys the same props for 10 plus years. As great as LeBron, Kevin Durant is playing, those guys are not top 5 right now. Those guys are not 3rd, 4th, 5th seeds. They up and down. Their teams, yeah, they've been injured, but they was never missing 3 starters. KD might have played by himself a little bit, but just imagine more than half the season, Bill, Booker, and let's say the big man was out. I give you another example. Imagine Dame Lillard playing for the Bucks if for more than half the season, Giannis, Middleton, and Brook Lopez was out. You still think the Bucks would be second place? Brunson literally for damn near the whole season missed Julius Randle, OG, and Mitchell Robinson. And Harden and some of them guys was in and out the lineup. And let's not forget, Hartenstein, he just started getting healthy. And we've been afloat, 3rd, 4th, 5th seed. Brunson is damn near averaging 30. Now, who else is doing that? Now, for me, the top 5, we would have to go Luka, Joker, no order, SGA. And then to me, after that, it gets tricky. If you want to put Tatum in because of the record, cool. But why is Brunson not top 5? You're going to tell me Ant-Man is playing better ball than Brunson? Why? Because he's more exciting, more athletic? See, that's the part I don't get. If I'm not mistaken, Brunson is averaging more than Ant-Man. So give me 5 players playing better basketball than Jalen Brunson. Why would y'all say Giannis? Why? Those numbers are smoking mirrors. I keep telling people, Giannis is not fun to watch, and he's a little overrated. I'm sorry. And I've been saying these things. We cannot continue to let our eyes deceive us. What Brunson is doing, name a 6-foot point guard in the league today that can do what he's doing on a Knicks team where people say the fan base is tough, nobody want to play here. He's missing 3 starters. He's playing with all bench players, and all those guys look crazy. Nah, man, listen. Brunson should be a top 3 MVP candidate. I'm putting him over SGA. I'm sorry. No one has to deal with what Brunson had to deal with this season. We are tied for the 3rd seed, and we are half a game out of the 2nd seed. If we win today, Orlando lose today, Milwaukee lose today, which Milwaukee may lose because they play Boston, we'll be the 2 seed. So for me, for Brunson to do all that, and I'm gonna let you go on this note. Look what Brunson, look how good he made everybody else. See, nobody talks about that. The season Brunson is having, look at the season Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, Deuce, Precious. Look at the season those guys are having. This is because of Brunson. Without Brunson, none of this happens. The attention Brunson gets leaves Josh Hart and DiVincenzo and these guys to go crazy. So for me, that's something that no one talks about. As great as everybody else is, they're not making nobody else better. And I'm gonna take it a step further. The Brunson effect right now today is the greatest effect on a team probably since the last 10 years. His effect on the Knicks and on the NBA is bigger right now than Kevin Durant on Phoenix, than LeBron on the Lakers. Right now, Steph Curry ain't playing up the par. Bradley Beal to Phoenix did nothing. Kyrie and Luka, yes, they legendary. They the 6th seed. Listen, man, Brunson right now should be top 3 MVP candidate. He's a top 5 player in the NBA, and he's the best point guard in the NBA. The only player I will put over him as a point guard is Luka, which I don't think is a point guard, but if that's his position, with the numbers he's averaging, you can't argue that. But Brunson is arguably the best point guard in the league, top 5 player in the league, top 3 MVP candidate. So that being said, it has your team in the 3rd, 4th seed, dealing with all the injuries. That said, he should be 1st team all NBA. And Tibbs should be coach of the year. I keep telling you, if this happened anywhere else, all these things would happen. But because it's the Knicks, watch everybody get slighted. Watch. My word. But big shout out JJ Redick. I agree. But the 10 to 15, no, he's top 5. But you're right. People are sleeping. This young man is a great basketball player.
I think you're gonna get overlooked or accused of being a homer and clickbait. That statement you just made is beyond profound. Nobody's talking about it, and I like it this way because I like to earn everything, which is what Jalen Brunson is doing, and what JJ Redick was breaking down in that video. He really broke down a lot. He said he earned, the top 5 candidacy, and people just, they don't get it. They're not really watching. You could tell JJ Redick, he does watch the game.
Right.
He's not lazy about what he's watching, what he's saying. What you just said right now was amazing, bro. Only if we're in all seriousness, the only other player in the last 15 years who's had the same effect as Jalen Brunson is Steph Curry. That's it. That's it. The one thing about LeBron that stood out, shout out to JP from LA, good dude, hilarious, always has me rolling on Twitter. The one thing that he made a statement on that I never forgot, and I'm like, damn, that's a good point. Because LeBron could go to any team and make them a championship contender, but there's that other part to it where he goes, oh, I don't know where I'm going next year. And he's not saying it out loud, but it's lingering. That affects the team. They got to answer those questions. If we don't win right now, this thing explodes. That's why Kyrie left Cleveland. Not that I fully even wanted him to do that, by the way, but that is why he left. He jumped that gun early, and that was in response to LeBron saying, I'm not going to be here. I might not be here. I'm going to LA. That was the rumor, and he left. I digress. Steph Curry, that was a built-up thing from college. Again, he didn't win in college, but he underdog in college.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you. Just when I say the Brunson effect, right? I understand what Curry, but I'm saying like a player going to another team and having the effect of just boosting them. So Curry is still in Golden State, but I kind of compared it to LeBron going to LA, KD to Phoenix, even KD to Brooklyn, Kyrie to Dallas. What Brunson is doing supersedes all of them. Dame Lillard going to Milwaukee. This is the biggest effect I've ever seen.
But it also supersedes LeBron going to Miami because Brunson got the ball in his hands, pun intended. Steph Curry, we don't see him leaving Golden State. Just the leadership, just leading by example.
Right.
He's leading by example, and then you can see that Jalen Brunson has a personality. He's even more vocal than Steph Curry. I can't see Draymond doing all that. Like, we'll get to that later. What Klay Thompson, how he answered Draymond was silly. I can't see Jalen Brunson responding to him the same way Klay Thompson and these guys do. I'm not saying he's gonna be aggressive with him, but I can see him being vocal, like not allowing any of that stuff. I haven't seen an effect on a team, any player, and we're talking about the biggest superstars in the game. Giannis going over there. Dame Lillard just went to the Bucks and had the opposite effect. Drew Holiday is in Boston, but it's not really, it's a team effort with them. Even Jimmy Butler going to Miami is not a regular season thing. It's not a regular season thing. We're waiting for him to show up in the playoffs. So that's way different than someone like Jalen Brunson working this out through and throughout the regular season. And then he showed up last season in the playoffs. He was with the Dallas Mavericks the season before, went to the Western Conference Finals. I just got to commend someone like JJ Redick for even making that statement, holding us down the way that he has, and especially him, like Dime Dropper. They got this relationship with ESPN was like, yo, we got to deal with them because they're the big bank. He totally goes against ESPN First Take because you don't really get stuff like this from First Take. You get a fake, like we said earlier, Stephen A. Smith. We don't even know he doesn't even know that Hartenstein starts. This guy's breaking him down as a top 5 candidate, and he's like backing it up. Because even if you want to break down SGA, he wasn't missing. He didn't have to carry this load. No, did he? And even Ant-Man struggles in crunch time the same way Brunson does. Struggles to get his shot for whatever reason. I just haven't seen the one thing that's not talked about with Brunson that JJ mentioned right there, and I'm always mentioning, is it's like Brunson gets better every day. Every day. I bet you he can't wait to play the Lakers again because he doesn't like that LeBron single covered him at the end of that game and cost him that last shot. Like, I know he's thinking about these things. And that's why at this point, it's not even funny. Nothing to even hype up anymore. If you still have anybody else in this conversation, I'm gonna laugh at you. Even Luka. Like the fact that he left Luka and now he's an MVP candidate alongside with him. When did that happen last? James Harden.
But also, my argument, and I've been consistent with this. OG Randall Mitchell is out. Starting 5 is Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, Hartenstein, and who else?
Hartenstein, DiVincenzo, Brunson. When OG's not there, Hartenstein, DiVincenzo, right. McBride.
All right, so hear me out, right? Now, you go to every other team, Dame and Giannis. Brunson ain't got that. KD got 2 guys, Booker or Bill, LeBron, AD, Luka, Kyrie, Tatum, Brown, and then Porzingis, Drew Holiday. Even though Cat's been hurt, Ant-Man still got a DPOY on his team. The best defender in the NBA. SGA got that young core with Chet and them guys. So for me, Miami, you still got Bam and Jimmy Butler. Jalen Brunson's best player is either Josh Hart or DiVincenzo. And I'm not saying that to knock them dudes. I'm just saying, look what he don't have an all-star superstar next to him. And look what he's doing. Once again, the last time we seen this was with Allen Iverson. I'm sorry. People don't want to hear that. We are so stuck on what we're stuck on. I'm an old man. I know I look young. I'm 46. But certain things you got to let go. I'm not putting Kevin Durant and LeBron in my top 10 no more. How? So that's the problem they're having with Brunson. Not only that he's a Knick, we don't want to let go Trae Young, and Halliburton, and Dame Lillard, and Kyrie, and we don't want to let that go. Steph Curry, all still great players. But right now, at this time, Jalen Brunson is playing better basketball than all of them. Jalen Brunson is having a better effect on the NBA and his team than Kevin Durant. Let me say that again. Jalen Brunson right now is doing something that Kevin Durant can't do with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker.
Or Kyrie Irving and James Harden.
Sink in. Y'all let that sink in. That's what Brunson is doing. Oh, and by the way, when these guys' contracts is up, DiVincenzo, Deuce, Josh Hart, Hartenstein, they're going to get some money. They're going to get some money. And I guarantee you, when they get interviewed, you know who they're going to think? Jalen Brunson. I'll leave it at that. Mic drop. Knicks for life, baby.
You already know. Deja un like, comentario, y suscribe. Dame dato. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not.